things didn't work out quite how we wanted to. Hold on a second here. Hold on to these.
Okay.
You hold these. Don't hold that.
Okay.
Things didn't work out how we wanted to today. So we had to make a little side trip, and it's probably not going to be real long. We're going to try to put together a video today that you'll enjoy, and hopefully we can get that accomplished. If not, I'll add this onto something else. But anyway, we're here at the home of H.H. Holmes, America's supposedly first serial killer. This home was that he rented in Indianapolis back in the 1800s, and you can see it right here. This is the property. And according to the website, and just keep the camera on there, Irvington, Indiana is a town rich with history, and both good and bad. There was one property associated with the infamous Dr. H.H. Holmes. His name was actually Mudgett, who murdered a young boy in a rented house in Irvington, which supposedly no longer stands. However, we found that it does. This is it. There's quite a few references to H.H. Holmes throughout the area. It's a 1.5 storage cottage, a little distance from Union Avenue on the extreme east side of Irvington. It once was secluded, and no other houses were located in the immediate neighborhood. It was located across the street from the Methodist Church, which stood there across from the house from 1895 to 1899, thereabouts, and about 200 yards north of the Pennsylvania Railroad tracks, which is now Bonner Avenue. Detective Frank P. Geyer and Mr. Gary, investigator with the insurance company, took the trolley from Indy to Irvington on August 27th, 1895 to search for Howard Peitzel. And I believe that they've got the name wrong. I don't know for sure, but that's it. Supposedly, this name comes up with a cohort of H.H. Holmes, whom he confessed to murder, and in fact there was evidence, and that's what got him hung. There was evidence of this, besides his admission. That was the only murder that got him hung. How do you do this? Anyway, Mr. Brown, real estate agent in Irvington, identified the photo of Holmes on October the 5th, 1894. Holmes had rented the house from J.C. Wines in Indianapolis, paying 1 month's rent in advance. The cottage was owned by Dr. J.L. Thompson, his employee. Alfred Mormon had seen Holmes and Howard and helped him move to Penciler Oak coal stove into the barn. Dr. Barnhill, partner of Dr. Thompson, found pieces of charred bone from a femur and skull in the chimney of the house located in the cellar. Detective Geyer returned to the house and found teeth and a jaw, which were identified by Dr. John Quincy Byram, a dentist. Also found at the bottom of the chimney was a large charred mass that was discovered to be a portion of the stomach, liver, and spleen. Pelvis was also found. This child was murdered on October 10th, 1894, and later that evening Holmes left Irvington with the rest of the family. As we know, if you've known and read anything about H.H. Holmes, you know that he had what's known as the murder castle in Chicago. The place has literally a large diagram made of it, of all different traps. Locks were made on the outside of doors so that he could trap people inside. He had nozzles that would put gas in a room to kill his victims. He supposedly was married like, I don't know, was it 4 or 5 times, something like that. The number doesn't matter. The fact is that he murdered them for their dowries. And he confessed to, I think, a total of 27 murders. The only one that he was able to be convicted on was, again, the earlier mentioned cohort that he had with him, swindling people up in Chicago. That one tied him to at least one, and that was good enough for Chicago to get rid of him after what they found inside the murder castle in Chicago. He was then hung by the neck until dead. So anyway, we're going to go take a look around the rest of the house from the outside. We're not going to trespass. We're not going to bother the people here. You can't go inside. The people can rent this place that used to be able to. I don't know if they still are. I don't know if anybody's purchased it and now living there now. For a time there, it was available if you wanted to rent it. That may not be the case anymore. Nevertheless, we're going to go around and take a look at the house, and then we're going to wrap this up and see what else we can find in haunted Irvington. That's going to be it for this location. If you don't already know, I'm Asa Swift. I write horror stories. And if you get the chance, stop by my website, asaswift.com. There you'll find my books listed for sale on Amazon. Press any of the links, it'll take you to Amazon website where you can purchase those books both in print and ebook. Eventually I hope to get them on audiobook, but until then, those are available. And I think we're going to wrap this up. If I don't make another video, I'll go ahead and mention it now. Don't forget to like the videos. Don't forget to share the videos. Boy, that's important. And don't forget to hit that reminder bell so that you know the next time that Asa Swift & Company posts another video. So until then, and in the next video, we'll see you. Going on to the next location. Bye. We're at the home of D.C. Stephenson, one of Indiana's most notorious residents. He was a Klan member and Grand Dragon back in the 20s. He lived from 1891 to 1966. He was a convicted rapist and murderer, and in 1923 he was appointed the Grand Dragon of the branch of the Ku Klux Klan in Indiana, and he was the head of the Klan recruiting for 7 other states. Later that year, he led those groups to independence from the national KKK organization. He amassed quite a bit of wealth and political power in Indiana politics, and was one of the most prominent national Klan leaders. He was reviewed as responsible for reviving the Klan and widening its base, and considered the most powerful man in Indiana at the time. He had close relationships with numerous Indiana politicians, especially Governor Edward L. Jackson. I'll show you a picture of this guy. Yeah, he's a real sweetheart. In Stevenson versus State, 1925, he was tried for and convicted of the abduction, rape, and murder of a young white woman, Madge Oberholzer. Excuse me. And she was a state education official. His trial, conviction, and imprisonment ended in the portrayal of Klan leaders as law-abiding. The case destroyed the Klan as a political force in Indiana, and significantly damaged its standing nationally. He was denied a pardon by Governor Jackson in 1927, and he started talking with reporters for the Indianapolis Times, a now defunct newspaper, and released a list of elected and other officials who had been in the pay of the Klan. They'd been on the payroll. And this led to a wave of indictments in Indiana, more national scandals, the rapid loss of tens of thousands of members of the Klan, and the end of the second wave of Klan activity in the late 1920s. Stephenson is buried in USVA Mountain Home National Cemetery in Johnson City, Tennessee. Also led to Congress passing restrictions barring serious sex offenders or those convicted of capital crimes for burial in veteran cemeteries. I'm not going to say much more about this asshole because he doesn't deserve it, but this was his home. And we'll go around here. I think we can probably get the best view from up the sidewalk over here, and we'll just kind of pan around, let people see what corruption bought this guy. That's this, not this. Now, from what I understand, according to other information on the website, that this place definitely is haunted. And in fact, the current resident has certain complaints about apparitions and other phenomena going on in the house. And there apparently has been, I don't know if he allowed them or it was before his time, but there were investigations in the house, and apparently that's ramped up the paranormal activity that occurs inside. So I wouldn't be happy with that either. But get what you pay for, I guess. It is a beautiful house, there's no doubt about that. And any person that's a betting man wouldn't bet against it not being haunted. There's even a marker out front. You want to zoom in on that? That marker, brass plaque. And the other way to zoom back out. when you move, you don't want to zoom in because it'll make the picture jittery. So when you're ready to move, you want to make your zoom back out. It'll look much smoother. Get a little bit closer look, and we'll go across the street. Definitely nice grounds and beautiful home. Let's just hope that D.C. Stephenson isn't in there. I don't know if you can read that plaque with the zoom or not. Let's try to come over here. Let's see if we can get a close-up of that plaque. I don't know what it says, and I don't want to trespass on this property. Somebody lives there. They have their right. Privacy. Can't do it. Well, we'll give it a shot anyway. Once I get some better equipment, maybe we'll be able to get better close-ups too as well. Looks like it needs a little bit of work though, in the soffits. But the trees and the yard reveal just how old this place is. These are big trees. I don't know what kind of tree that is. That's strange bark. I've never seen bark like that. And you've got another dead tree that's huge back there. So this place has been around for quite a while. That other dead tree over there is covered with vines. And this one here in front has been here for quite a while. Well, I wanted to bring you one more video that you enjoyed. The other one was such a short one, and in both of them, of course, we can't go inside. I'm sorry, apologize about that. They're both private residences, so that's just not possible. So we're doing the best that we can with what we can. It certainly would be nice to be able to go in there and film that whole thing. I mean, can you imagine how beautiful that would be? And on the antiques and the woodworking and stuff, I'm sure it's just fantastic. But this is all we can do. People still live there, and I'm sure if they didn't, they'd probably have no trespassing signs all over the place, and we still can't do it. Even if I wasn't still a police officer from law enforcement, I wouldn't break the law to go do that. I wouldn't violate the no trespassing laws to go in there. A lot of guys do the urban explorers and stuff, but I'm not going to ruin my reputation, and I'm not going to have my IMPD retirement badge and ID revoked because I acted like a jerk and violated no trespassing laws. So if you're expecting that, not going to happen. But where I can go inside, I certainly will. If there's no trespassing signs, you can bet your sweet bippy I'll be going inside. And in fact, as soon as we're able, we've got another trip planned to Attica and Kramer, Indiana. And I'll just leave it there as to what we're going to do. But there's a couple places there I want to go, and we'll see what we can get into there. So until then, this is Ace Swift signing off.